All right, guys, these last 2 weeks, man, right? We've really, really, really built a momentum, all right? I think some of you maybe a couple weeks ago didn't think we could do this. And now we're going to talk a little about what's coming, right? What to expect, the opportunity, right? Fort Wayne, you guys good still? You laughing at my jokes? All right, okay. Kind of so-so. I got someone with so-so. All right, so let's talk about this opportunity and what's going to happen next because, we've been here before. First, some of you didn't believe in it, and now you do. All right? Some of you didn't believe in yourselves, and now you're starting to. Right? But we just went over a holiday weekend, right? And some of the worst things that happened this weekend, you don't even realize it. You saw your family. Right? You saw your family who knows when you were and still judges you that used to poop your pants in a diaper. Right? And your family, you looked at your family, started talking to your family, and it might have put you back in a space that I don't want you in. Right? So, let's put it in perspective. My mother, right, was pretty much a migrant. All right? My dad was a mechanic. Right? They're great people. My dad's now a pastor. Right? My mom does great things. But when I was born in a trailer. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Now, I have a lot of family on both sides, and I can tell you this. One of the most common questions is, why did Aaron achieve so much more than everybody else? Right? And it's because I quickly learned to listen to the right people, not the wrong people. And I'm not saying that my parents were wrong ever, right? They were always very supportive. But a lot of times, their outlook on what was possible, right, wasn't enough. Okay? You know what I mean? Like, my father's a great guy. I was always like, when I explain to my father or show him what I make or do now, right, it's just unbelievable. Do you see what I mean? Unbelievable that someone could even do that and that I know you. You know what I mean? That you came from Marion. So I want you guys to realize, like, my biggest concern about the weekend is that you went and got reconnected with some people in your family who you don't need in your five. Your family's always your family, right? They'll be, I hear this, they'll be there for you no matter what. Yeah, but what does that mean? If they don't have means, if they don't have resources, right? They might be willing to be there for you, but if they don't have means and resources, what the hell does that mean? They post on Twitter hopes and prayers. Do you know what I mean? Hopes and prayers, just saying that on Twitter, don't do anything for you. Sometimes you need someone to show up with a checkbook, right? Right? Sometimes you need someone to show up with who can negotiate with some advice and help make things happen. So that's one of my big concerns is that we just, on this momentum, we had this holiday weekend and you guys got reattached to people who told you what your dreams are impossible, and that's not true. Right? Anything you want in life is possible, and I want to make sure you guys get there. So, did you guys think that was possible when 4 weeks ago I asked and one person had their hand up? Right? You guys have proven that to yourself. You guys set the bar. I didn't do nothing but say you could, and you guys moved the bar. Now, do we have to hit that bar every week? No, but we have to stay in front of that momentum. Right? Like, it's still 10 a day to me. Right? I'm letting you guys celebrate. We got 11 cases last week because Baker very much wanted us to get to 10 a week, and we did 11. Right? And so we got there. But I'm still going for 10 a day because I'm telling you this, you will see the outcome of this 11 this last week if we followed up with another good amount, right? But you guys will not even imagine the new problems you have if we're doing 10 a day, right? Like your problems are going to be like weird problems. Like they're not even problems, right? They're called first world problems. What color should I pick is your new problem, right? Should I get the Lariat or the King Ranch edition is your problem. Should I live in Fishers or should I get an apartment in Carmel is your problem. You have different problems. It's not, I can't pay my bill, right? You come from a position of strength, so we want to build on that. So who has appointments for this week? Raise your hand. All right? Come on, Kenny. Come on, Kenny. All right. So here's what needs to happen, leaders. You need to make sure that when I ask that question in 2 weeks, everybody raises their hand. So some people you need to go back out and train with, right? Look at their steps. Other people just need that. Because I know a lot of you guys, I'm talking to USAs over the weekend, you guys think I'm mean. He's so mean. And I'm going to continue to be mean. Because when I get phone calls from California saying, hey, thanks for putting your foot in my butt, and I'm now an agency owner at AIL, right? I'm not trying to brag, but I don't think there's too many other people who promoted somebody on both companies, right? So I'm going to continue to be mean. right? It's not about me. It's just like I said a couple weeks ago. I am the one person who cares about all of you guys, right? Because I'm in that position to be that. I'm at the top. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So I want you guys to succeed. So let's talk about how we're going to continue to succeed, right? Some ideas where we can take this momentum rebuilt and continue to ride this wave of results, right? So it's kind of like 4 little ideas that I've mentioned before, but I kind of want to put together. 1, right? We must, now that we're on the top. Some of you guys are just full of grace and energy right now, right? Some of you are seeing it and want to get there, right? And it's because maybe you didn't close the case. And I'm like, hey, your time's coming. And it's this week. Like, we're going to get this happen. We're going to put someone in the car with you to make sure that happens, right? And then some of you did success last week, but you feel it's for naught. Like you've already went back to the person who didn't. And we need to fix that. All right, so first step, no more 0 days. Ever. Right? Now let me explain with it. You've already had too many 0 days in your career and your life here, and this leads into how you currently think about yourself. See, a lot of people think bad about themselves because they don't have production, right? Now, production is the act of getting something done consistently, right? It's not, there's no such thing as production, the singularity. Production is plural, right? So I can't make one widget and call it production. I must make multiple widgets and then I can call it production. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Right. So having no 0 days and how you currently feel about yourself is usually a habit of no production. If you take somebody, right, and I force them to stay in their home for a year and watch Netflix and social media, how many people fell into super dark places, right? Very quickly. If I force somebody to stay in a relationship because they're just not sure what to do, so they decide to do nothing, right? And then all of a sudden they feel valueless, how the hell do you get them out of that dark hole? Do you see what I'm saying? Like without production, without action, you start going deep. Now, when I say no more 0 days, I'm referring to here, but I wanted to tell you something. I'm not asking you to kill yourself to get results, right? I'm not asking you to stay up all night to get results. What I'm saying is you need a promise to yourself, right? To yourself, not to anybody, not to your kids, not to your baby mama, not to your baby daddy, not to your boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, grandma, or any of those people who would be blessed if you won, who would be blessed if you succeeded. I'm saying promise to yourself that you're not going to accept 0 days. Right? All you got to do is say, I am not going to accept a 0 day. If I have I'm going to do everything until 11:58 at night to make sure I have a 0 day. If I got to get a set, if I got to get a PR, if I got to DM them, if I got to make an appointment, if I got to email 100 people on LinkedIn, if whatever I got to do, I am not going to accept a 0 day. Because I believe many of you guys accept 0 weeks by 10 a.m. on Monday. So if I get you guys to quit accepting 0 days, you're still going to have some. It ain't going to be your fault. But if you guys decide, I ain't going to accept it, watch what happens. All of a sudden, your personal value about you starts to increase. And then all of the hopes and dreams you guys had before, right, start lining up. Because like all those people I said, your baby mama, your baby daddy, your aunts, your uncles, your mom, your dad, right, your kids, right, your kids' kids, all those people would be blessed more if you succeeded here. Right? But you have to do it for yourself first, right? So that you can build off of that. So, when the day is over at 11 p.m., you must have accomplished something for your future self. A case, a hire, a handful of referrals, a handful of appointments, or 10,000 AP. Right? These are just examples. Now, I'm not saying a walk-in. No. We can't accept that. Right? Being our target to hit the 60 or 90 walk-ins, yeah, that's okay. But we have to have wins every day, right? No 0 days. You have to decide you're not going to accept it. There's a big issue. A big issue with the Generation Z or whatever, right? This young is that you guys have got so acceptable of accepting 0 days in your life, right? And now you're getting kicked in the teeth by the real world, who's ran by guys like me who are like, what the hell are 0 days, right? And it's causing pain, depression, anxiety, and for you guys to go hide in a hole, all right? And I'm saying, hey, guess what? I understand. Now, buck the hell up and come out, quit accepting 0 days, right? I don't know what you got sold, but it ain't going to work out for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to work out for you, and it's up to you to change that. All right. Number 2, be grateful for the 3 U's, right? U as in Y-O-U. Be grateful for the 3 U's, right? And some of you really need to hear this one. The past you. Be grateful who you were, right? And in this career, what have you learned since you started here, right? So I don't care if you've been here for a year or year and a half and you made a ton of mistakes, right? As long as you realize you did. But don't feel bad about it. What did you learn? Don't look about all the opportunity you missed. Look about, hey, what did you learn? You know what I mean? And I'm going to put Taylor on the bus right now. Taylor today, I already had this talk ready, came to me and said, I wish I would have did this a year and a half ago. Right? And I was like, now you know why we got so many damn fights. Because I already knew that shit. I'd seen it. Right? And so she even admitted that. But you know what? Be grateful for what you learned. Number 2, the present you. What can you do today to keep your momentum? Right? Like, do not get into this habit. And we'll talk about case size. Right? But it's pretty simple. A lot of you guys close cases, right? And maybe they're 5-man, 10-man, things like that. Okay, 5-man cases do not take all day to enroll. Right? 5-man cases should take an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? And if there's somebody who's random, we'll come back and get them in the afternoon. But let's get out of here. We wrote some AP, and let's do some walk-ins. That 5-man case ain't buying you a car, right? That 5-man case ain't paying your rent, most likely. But that next case that is 5 or 10 will, right? And if you close 30 or 45-man cases, all your bills will be paid in 6 months because it all flip over. Do you guys see what I'm saying? But like that 5-man case, we cannot spend all day there. So the present you, what can you do today to keep the momentum? For 90% of you, it is continue to keep that walk-ins up. Our walk-in ratio is amazing. I'll go over it. All right. And most of all, be grateful for the future you. Where are you going to be in a year? You know what I mean? There's a person sitting here right now who started with us about 3 years ago who I spent so much time saying, just wait and see where you're at in a year. Just wait and see where you're at in a year. Right? That person's life is probably 1,000 times % better today than it was the day they started. Right? But they had to believe me. They had to believe the others when we said, it's hard. You can cry, but you better keep walking forward as you're crying. You can cry all you want, but keep moving with the momentum. And some of you need that talk right now. Some of you need to like, yeah, this is hard, but we got this momentum. We got this wins. People feeling good. People feeling generous. Be grateful. Be grateful who you're going to be in a year. Right? Be grateful like no matter where you're at today, whether you're an agent, you're an SA, or it's your first week as an AD. Right? Where are you going to be in 1 year? You know what I'm saying? Where are you going to be? So do it for that person too. Like I said, do it for you. Right? So when you don't feel like doing it, do it for what you want to be in a year. It ain't about the beaches. It ain't about the trips. Once you've done 30 of them, you don't care. Right? But what does matter is the opportunities I get to have, right, with my kids and with you guys and having laughs and jokes. I mean, one of the greatest things for me is getting to stand on stage and, try to feed you guys some knowledge and, make fun of Kenny and get some jokes and be like, dang, maybe I said too much. But who cares? Because I pay the bills. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that you got that. If you want others to love you, you must first love yourself. You guys have heard that before, right? All right. So now here's where it goes from there. If you want to lead others, you must first lead yourself. Right? You can pretty much change that word to anything. You know what I mean? And people forget that. So first, for some of you guys, you need to start loving yourself. Some of you guys just don't like yourself, and it's nuts. How do you not like yourself? Right? You know what's interesting about people who don't like themselves? They're usually the ones with the winning lottery tickets on the outside. They're usually the prettiest people, right? The coolest people.